Uh, I want to talk about Riri. I want to talk about Riri. Because I feel like for me, I've recently learned the power and the advantages of being able to separate an artist from their art. For me, I feel like the most impact that Ree has had on me hasn't necessarily been through the art, more like who she is as an artist. Because I feel like the art, it doesn't always resonate for me. I feel like the artistic decisions that she's made, the sacrifices that she's made, I feel like for me, I see Ree as more of a role model, just as a person, as a personality, the way that she has lived her life, at least publicly, right? Like, we don't really know what's going on, like, behind the scenes. And that's also something that I respect and I admire. Most of the things that we know about Ree is because she lets us know. Even if she doesn't, like, tell us directly, it's just the way that she lives her life, you know? I feel like it's very unapologetically. And I feel like it's very brave and it's bold and it's vibrant, and I feel like I respect the impact that she's had on fashion, on culture for me. I think for music, I think the most impact that Ree's music has made on me is when I discovered that all of her music isn't about sex. Simply just because the industry like that, her mainstream songs are mostly about sex. Not all of them. I can't admit most of them, though. Like, during the time when I was a little girl, most of her hit songs were about sex. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it can feel a little bit substanceless and hopeless over time, especially when I'm like looking to her for some kind of guidance, because I don't have or didn't have that guidance at the time of, like, a brown-skinned woman that I can look up to, that I perceive as inspiring. And when I discovered that she had songs that weren't all just about her being sexy or having sex or just like some super kinky stuff, like and like, don't get me wrong, like, I love it, I love it, I love that aspect of Ree, the sex of it all. It's so necessary. Still, the balance is even more essential. Just because I feel like it can really tip the scale if you don't have the absence of the only thing that you've ever known. Until you experience the absence of the only thing that you've ever known, what do you really know? You know what I mean? And I feel like finding and discovering the music that had an absence of this, like, super sexualized sound and subject matter, it was literally a spiritual awakening for me, because I was like, oh my goodness, who is this? And what song it was? I remember exactly what song it was. It was We All Want Love. I discovered We All Want Love. And I was like, oh my goodness, she gets it. Like, she gets me, like I loved her before. It's just that, the part of hearing her feel what I feel and explain the way that I feel just about love in general, because I feel like love is so much more powerful than sex, in terms of content. definitely. And so when I went and intentionally started like finding all of her music that isn't really about sex, and is more about love, not saying that those are the only two things that she talks about in her music, just that if I was gonna generally like give someone a summary of what her music is about, I would kind of give them these two. And it's kind of the duality of who she is as an artist. You either get like this super raw sex icon, sex symbol, or you get this just absolutely hopelessly romantic lover who just is a freaking Pisces and is so like super emotional and just wants to be held and just caressed and loved, and like and it's like, oh my goodness, she loves to fall in love. She also loves to have sex. That's cool, that's so human. And I think it just humanized her so much more in my head. Because just her being a pop star, her being this like singer sensation, it really dehumanized her for me as a little girl. And it was hard for me to like find myself in reality within her art and her voice. And then we all went love. This like whole paradigm shift happened, and what Rihanna meant to me was different. And then she like changed and shifted and like broke the whole entire makeup culture with Fenty. And it's so interesting because it was literally around the time where I stopped wearing makeup and I just threw all my makeup away. I didn't want to care about my face anymore and like what it looked like. I didn't want to paint myself on anymore. Now I'm in a completely different space. I'm talking about when like Fenty first launched and it was changing the makeup culture. More than changing the makeup culture, I feel like it was creating an entirely new culture, redefining culture and implementing that. And then she was doing like the Savage X fashion shows, and I feel like we've seen the genius, of over the years in practice at work. And I think that that's so beautiful because there's so many stereotypes that I feel like can be placed on her simply just because she is a black woman. She's brown skin, she's beautiful, she has these natural features, this beautiful womanly figure, body, and she's outspoken. She has this voice and she speaks up for what she believes in, and you're not going to tell her how to live her life. And I feel like that is a role model to me. It's not necessarily me trying to copy exactly what she's doing, more like the method, right? Like it's the method to the madness, the practice of it, the expression of self, and the freedom that is within her approach, the free will, and how that allows her to be as creative as she wants. And I think that that's so beautiful because I feel like as an artist, you need that freedom, you need that creativity. And I think that she's shown that no matter how famous you are, you don't have to let anyone's labels categorize you, or like you don't have to take anyone's label that they made for you and stick it on yourself. Like you don't got to do that. You can literally just like ignore them and just keep doing what you're doing. And I think that's so beautiful. So that's my like re-spill. I've been listening to her music recently. I think that was yesterday, I was driving and I listened to a few albums. I listened to Loud. Oh my goodness, Loud. And I listened to the one with You, the one. The one with you, the one with Talk That Talk, and it got like cockiness on it, that album. The name escapes me because I wasn't really choosing the album, so I was just listening to them. And something else I feel is that when it comes to, whoa. Okay, I'm gonna take that as a sign. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna stop there. Okay.